already know that sleep is really important to both our physical and our mental health. And we also know that junk food can cause difficulties with weight maintenance, can cause chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and heart problems and all sorts of other problems. And you may know that individually that if you eat certain things that you have difficulty getting to sleep. But what I want to look at now is some research by some scientists from Uppsala University in Sweden. And they looked at the effect of junk food on deep sleep. Deep sleep is one of the phases of sleep, and it's really important for our health. So it's doesn't only matter how long we sleep for, how much we dream, how soundly we sleep, how refreshed we wake up, all those sorts of things. That deep sleep is really, really important. And these scientists ran a sleep lab, so they were able to wire people up so that they could actually look at what was happening while they were asleep. So they took 15 young men who all had good, adequate sleep normally. So they weren't insomniacs, they weren't people who had difficulty getting to sleep or staying asleep. And for 1 week, they put them on either a healthy diet or an unhealthy diet. The unhealthy diet had a lot of sugar, a lot of saturated fat, and a lot of processed food. They don't actually say what was in the healthy diet, but you can imagine that would include lots of fruit and veggies, lots of real food as opposed to processed food. So they took these 15 young men and they put them either on a healthy diet for a week or on an unhealthy diet for a week. And then whichever one they'd been on to start with, they changed them over to the other one. And they looked at what happened while they were sleeping. So for some of the time, they slept in this sleep lab. Now, all these young men slept as normal. There was no change in that. So there was no difference in the amount of sleep they experienced. There was no difference in the proportion of the different stages of sleep that they experienced, regardless of which diet they were on. But there was a difference in terms of deep sleep. Their deep sleep was disturbed. It wasn't as it normally should be. Now, the scientists aren't certain what the long-term implications of this are for health, but they think it's an area of concern. They want to investigate it more. So we know that processed food, we know that saturated fatty foods, we know that high sugar foods, they are tasty. We really enjoy them. The manufacturers develop recipes so that we want to eat them. We want to go and buy them. We want to consume them. But this research on deep sleep shows that junk food, we need to be careful about how much we eat, because the implications for our long-term physical and mental health are beginning to be understood much more clearly.